Big Supreme Court decision today that the Trump administration is super happy about. But my favorite part of this story is how Amy Coney Barrett smacked down her colleague, Ketanji Brown Jackson, as, well, the imbecile that she is. And she smacked her down in the Supreme Court decision, in writing, for all of us to see. And we're going to see it. I'll show it to you in just a sec. But first, here's the headline. Supreme Court ruled nationwide injunctions, quote, likely exceed the equitable authority that Congress has given to federal courts, unquote. As we said at Town Hall, it's a big win for President Trump against rogue federal judges and universal injunctions. This unconstitutional move that the left has been trying to do, stacking up federal courts, these little tiny federal judges in districts that are like this big compared to the country, stopping the executive branch from, well, carrying out executive duties. And most importantly, this decision specifically is linked to so-called birthright citizenship. What does it mean? Well, let's show you how sad they are at CNN, and you'll see what it means.
In a historic opinion, the justices are limiting that power. And again, President Trump's lawyers have told me this is the case that they are watching. This means everything for the president's ability to govern through executive actions. Now, I will say, these nationwide injunctions, this is a bipartisan concern. These have plagued every modern president. But because President Trump does so much through executive action, he has faced the greatest number of these nationwide injunctions. So he and his Republican allies here on Capitol Hill, they have been railing against these. This is a pet issue for them. And now the conservative supermajority siding with President Trump and his Republican allies to limit this power from judges. A huge decision.
I'm sorry, did you just call this a supermajority on the Supreme Court? What kind of super? I got to see that again.
Supermajority.
Sorry, I'll go back a little further.
They have been railing against these. This is a pet issue for them. And now the conservative supermajority siding with President Trump and his Republican allies to limit this power from judges. A huge decision.
The conservative supermajority. Did you also see how she said, listen, all presidents hate this, but the problem is because Trump does so much through executive action, it's really hurt him the most. No. That's not accurate at all. The reason that it's plagued Trump so much is because the left has been so insane by challenging everything, even things that they knew were in the purview of the executive branch. All of this has been a waste of time. It's just been trying to stop and delay and to show, look, we're doing something, even though they're actually not doing anything. All right, let's CNN finish the report here.
So just to be precise, Paula, this was a 6-3 decision, 6 conservative justices, 3 liberal justices. Is that right?
And it was authored by Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Now, some of her conservative colleagues did also opine concurrences here. We're still reading through those. We have old school, the paper copy. It is very long. We're still getting through the whole opinion. So these are just the top lines, but this is enormous. This is yet another huge win for President Trump from this conservative supermajority. Now, we have been reporting...
How many times is she going to say conservative supermajority? All right, fine. The bottom line is even CNN is conceding it's a huge win for President Trump. So let's go right to the man. This was just about 30 minutes ago. President Trump from the White House agrees it's a huge win.
Thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country under birthright citizenship, and it wasn't meant for that reason. It was meant for the babies of slaves. So thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with these numerous policies, and those that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis, including birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgeries, and numerous other priorities of the American people. Thanks.
He seemed like a man who is motivated to now go back and get all that crap done that's been temporarily stopped by federal courts. Let's bring in our friend, morning show host for Salem Radio and Salem News Channel, the round mound of all things profound. Do you like that nickname, Chris? I thought you would. It's Chris DeGaulle.
Well, I've lost 40 pounds in the last few weeks, and I feel like you're assaulting my waistline when you say round mound.
I would never do such a thing. No. It has to do with your head. It's a very round head.
That's true.
So what do you think? I mean, that not only is it a huge win, but do you think the birthright citizenship thing is now legit on the table? Because the key factor here is that was the critical case that the Supreme Court was looking at. And it sure seems like they're saying, listen, based on the constitutionality of what the administration is trying to do here, this injunction is invalid. It suggests that they're probably going to win when this thing plays out.
I don't know, Larry. I hate to, again, I never want to be a wet blanket because I'm feeling the MAGA love. I am. But here's what I wondered about. Aren't they supposed to still kind of make a decision on Trump's desire on birthright citizenship? And this court does something that just infuriates me often. You're like partying, we're popping champagne. Woohoo, 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. And then all of a sudden, here comes a curveball, and Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett all of a sudden just completely leave us dumbfounded as they side with the three wacko leftists on the court. And I just have a very funny feeling that they're about to drop a bomb on us when it comes to birthright citizenship. It's just a hunch. I could be wrong.
No,
I hope I'm wrong.
I hear you, and I think you might. Maybe I'm being too much of a Tigger. Maybe you're being too much of an Eeyore, but everyone that I've talked to, and I've interviewed a couple of people yesterday and today anticipating this decision, they said they expected this to just be about what it was about today, and that has to do with the injunctions. Now that that's lifted, it goes back to the court that was originally hearing the birthright citizenship case. It's going to play out, and it will be on the docket for the Supremes to decide next year. So they're still going to have to make a decision. But now it goes forward. But again, I bring you back to this key line in this decision. Universal injunctions likely exceed the equitable authority that Congress has given to federal courts. In other words, federal courts do have the power and authority to do these universal injunctions from time. But if it's a decision that is so obviously on the face of it, something that will in fact be supported by the law itself, it should be able to go through without an injunction. At least that's how I read it.
I listen, I hope you're right. I wouldn't argue with you, as I'm not a legal scholar. You'll have to secure Jonathan Turley for that, and I think he's got an exclusive. So,
all right. One other thing, though, that I teased our viewers on here and our listeners is the little cat fight that played out between Amy Coney Barrett and Ketanji Brown Jackson. Take a look at some of the language. This is rather extraordinary. Amy Coney Barrett wrote the decision here, and we've highlighted a couple of lines. We will not dwell on Justice Jackson's argument, which is at odds with more than 2 centuries worth of precedent, not to mention the Constitution itself. We observe only this. Justice Jackson decries an imperial executive while embracing an imperial judiciary. And then there's this. Justice Jackson skips over that part because analyzing the governing statute involves boring legalese. In other words, she doesn't want to have to read all that stuff. It's hard to understand. And finally, Justice Jackson would do well to heed her own admonition. Everyone from the president on down is bound by law. That goes for judges too. Wow. I mean, am I reading too far into this, or is there something here? There's a bit of an edge between these two.
Is it over? Is it? Ooh, that's an E. It's like watching a bar fight through words. Ooh. I know. I love it. Isn't that wonderful? Basically, she just called her a stone cold dummy, is what she said. And in another ruling, they basically said, you're a loon. I mean, this was polite. This was like a legalese way of writing what Trump does on Truth Social. You're a lunatic who doesn't know what you're talking about. You're a stone cold dummy. It's what Trump would say, except again, legal scholar.
Our buddy Comfortably Smug over at the Ruthless podcast has put together a brilliant montage of Ketanji Brown Jackson from just this last session. This is just from this year's oral arguments. He's gotten together the transcript and the audio. Take a look at the brilliance of Joe Biden's landmark, groundbreaking, glass ceiling shattering Supreme Court justice nominee.
So I don't understand. Can I just understand? And I don't understand. And so what I don't understand, I don't understand your argument. I'm just trying to understand your answer. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand. I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. And I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand, but I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. So I'm trying to understand. I'm sort of with Justice Kagan trying to understand. I don't understand. I don't understand because I'm still trying to understand. Maybe I'm just not understanding. I don't understand. I'm trying to understand and I don't understand. I was just trying to understand. So I guess I don't understand. And I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm struggling to understand and I don't understand. Can you help me to understand? I'm sort of with Justice Alito in trying to understand that I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand. Like, I'm just trying to understand. I guess I'm just trying to understand.
Chris DeGaulle, that's 1 minute's worth. There's another 4.5 minutes worth of this.
May Mailman, our friend, May over at the White House. Yeah. She said, amazing. Justice Barrett goes straight after Justice Jackson's inability to do law. Jackson wants to tell the entire executive branch what to do and refuses to comply with constitutional limitations. Insanely dangerous, and Barrett is right to call it out. It doesn't get more harsh than that. Goes straight at her for her inability to do law.
To do law. Doing law is hard. I don't understand. I mean, I guess we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, the most famous thing that she said up until the I don't understand fest here was that she couldn't actually define what a woman is when she was being confirmed. So I here's the thing. I say this all the time. You have to have an advanced degree, maybe even a doctorate or a law degree from a liberal arts college in America to be this stupid, to not just have common sense. And I think it's playing out with this justice.
Yeah, she was victim of one of those many great videos that I know you've enjoyed with us, and we played before. Justice Kennedy, or I'm sorry, not Justice Kennedy, but rather Senator Kennedy.
Yes,
yeah, your words, not mine. Your words, not mine. That he embarrasses these people, including her, better than anybody else. And there's been a stunning number of people like this that were confirmed during the era of Joe Biden. And they've all been laid out. I mean, that's what the significance of today's rulings are in so many ways, is the Justice Jacksons of the court, both the Supreme Court and all across the judiciary and the federal districts. They're all being slapped down. Much of this, if not all of them, they're almost all activist left-wing judges who were pushed through in the last few years, and they all got a big smack from Amy Coney Barrett today.
Let's check back in on Ketanji Brown Jackson, see if anything has changed since we last left her.
I don't understand. I don't understand, nor do I understand. I don't understand what I don't understand. So I'm misunderstanding your rule. I'm just trying to understand, and I'm trying to understand. I don't understand that. I don't understand. So I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand why not. I don't understand at all. So can you help me understand? I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand. I don't even understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm just trying to understand. I guess I don't understand. I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. I don't really understand. I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. And what I can't understand, I don't understand. I don't understand. So I don't understand. Can you help me understand? So I don't even understand. I guess I don't understand. So I don't understand. So I guess I don't understand. So help us to understand. I don't understand. I'm trying to understand, but I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Well, we're about halfway through. There's more to come, but I guess we'll just leave it there. I
just looked this up, by the way, just as one last thing on this, Justice. Her book, Lovely One, It came out late last year. Do you know
Yeah.
what she was paid? I don't know how many they sold, but do you know what she was paid in advance?
Oh, it's
Two
well, it's got to be a couple
million.
million, right? 2 million.
$2 million in advance of
Yeah.
her memoir. Who read it? Who bought it? Wow.
Yeah. Don't you get the impression after seeing that montage there that during the arguments or maybe during the meetings that they have in conference afterwards, Clarence Thomas has just got to be staring across at her from the other side of the room, just thinking to himself, girl, what the hell? You have no business being here. They used to call me a token. They used to call me stupid. Are you kidding me? I have to put up with this crap?
I think that's the thing. It's like, once upon a time, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we don't, as conservatives, we didn't have much time for the things she'd say, but you had to at least admire and respect her intelligence and her thoughtfulness, and the fact that her colleagues who usually differed with her stridently really respected her, and they would never write an opinion taking a sledgehammer to her when she would write a dissent like this. Amy Coney Barrett, who I think's probably to a fault very respectful. In fact, I'd argue she's made some rulings because she's just afraid of the culture, in my view. But for her to be this aggressive with her, that's striking. I mean, that really is its own bit of news.
I agree. Chris, one last thing here. We expect our Supreme Court justices to be smart, to actually bring some intellect to the table, to respect tradition and past jurisprudence, and actually have a good working knowledge of the Constitution. The other thing we expect is for them to be consistent, that they should have the same opinion and the same basis and values and principles they bring to the table, regardless of who the plaintiffs are and the defendants, and regardless of who the president of the United States is. That's why it's telling to look at this moment of Elena Kagan. Now, Elena Kagan today opposed the decision that stopped these injunctions. She was on the side of a single judge, being able to stop and hold up a president of the United States and the executive branch from carrying out their executive orders or their facilitating of carrying out the laws the executive branch constitutionally is required to do. She was on the side of the judges, right? Take a look at her just 3 years ago when Joe Biden was in the White House, and when, as you noted earlier, conservatives would find a judge that would put an injunction against Joe Biden as president. Here's what she said then.
It just can't be right that one district judge can stop a nationwide policy in its tracks and leave it stopped for the years that it takes to go through a normal process.
See, this is what I think sort of puts off the American people and frankly is jarring to us. We're supposed to have certain North Stars in our constitutional republic, and some is this sort of thing, where just 3 years ago, she can say it's wrong for a judge to do this. And then today, when faced with the decision, because Trump's the president, she actually sides with the judge doing exactly that.
That is the judicial version of Jake Tapper saying this week, we have a responsibility to ask questions. It's just so damn dishonest. It's such gaslighting. They stare you right in the face after they say, it's Chuck Schumer saying, I think the rhetoric from the right, led to the shooting in Minnesota, that lunatic that shot those state legislators. I think the rhetoric from the right, this is a guy that literally said the Supreme Court's going to reap the whirlwind for the decision on Roe. They say these things, and then it's like they don't know the internet exists, and we all can quickly dial up a video of them saying exactly the opposite of the thing they're saying or ruling or reporting on. And thanks to shows like yours and hopefully mine and alternative media, we have access to these people in real time and throw their own words in their face. And it's why nobody believes legacy media anymore, and why Democrats are in the toilet. We can catch them in real time gaslighting us.
That is a great point. And I can only finish by checking back in with Ketanji Brown Jackson and seeing if she actually grasped the point that you just made.
I guess I don't understand. I don't really understand. You want me to understand? I don't quite understand it. I guess I'm not sure I understand that. And so I guess I don't understand.
Yeah, she still doesn't quite get it. That's okay. Justice Brown Jackson, you're
Bless
on your
her heart.
summer recess now. You don't have to come back until the first Monday of October. Take some time, catch up on some of Chris DeGaule's podcasts or this podcast of this show, and maybe you'll start understanding a little bit better exactly what's going on in this country. But we believe in you. We have faith. Or we have faith in that super conservative majority, 6-3, who got it right today. Thank God. And now Trump administration hitting the ground running and continuing the momentum from their big win in November, the inauguration in January, and now, well, it's going to be a long, hot summer for the left.